The election season has not yet formally begun, but already there have been so many surprises that this is turning out to be one of the most interesting races we've ever seen. Throughout all these changes and surprises, though, one thing has remained constant. Senator Manuel Villar has announced his intention to run for president in 2010. Tonight, we sit down with a man who rose from humble beginnings, who wants to be the next president of this country, to take the measure of Manny Villar tonight on The Big Picture.
Senator Manny Villar was born the second child in a brood of 9, with a father working as a government employee and a mother working as a seafood dealer based in Tondo, Manila. He helped his mother sell shrimp and fish in the Divisoria market, eventually becoming a working student, assisting his mother in the early morning while studying the rest of the day. He was able to graduate from the University of the Philippines, where he obtained an undergraduate and master's degree in business administration and accountancy. But it was in construction where he found his niche, pioneering the simple concept of selling house and lot packages during a time when homeowners were accustomed to building their own homes. His innovation earned him millions, helping him to become one of the biggest home builders in the country, catering specifically to poor and middle-class Filipino families. His continued success in business eventually led him to politics. He began his political career in Congress in 1992, where he immediately applied his business expertise. Among his achievements were various bills and projects for his constituents in Las Piñas and Muntinlupa, and his crowning legislative act, the landmark new Magna Carta for small and medium enterprises. His peers in the House began to take notice of him and eventually elected him as Speaker of the 11th Congress of the House of Representatives.
Of 77 members of the House, filed by them apparently in line with the essence and spirit of Section 3, Paragraph 4 of Article 11 of the Constitution of the Philippines and Section 13.
It was in this role where Villar would rise to national prominence, most especially when he sped through the impeachment proceedings of then-President Joseph Estrada, allowing the process to go to the Senate. He lost the speakership after that act, but his move garnered him a following across the nation. His popularity got him elected to the Senate, where he assumed more positions of power, including that of Senate President. However, it is at the Senate that several corruption allegations against Villar were raised, most recently involving the controversial C5 budget appropriation. Today, he is president of the Nationalista Party and will be the party's presidential bet for the 2010 polls. Ironically, he is running against former President Estrada, the very man he helped remove from power. He is also running against administration bet Secretary Gilbert Chodoro and the current survey frontrunner, Senator Benigno Aquino III. He has also repeatedly snubbed public forums aimed at introducing presidential candidates to the public. But with an estimated personal fortune of $530 million or over 25 billion pesos, Villar's war chest is undoubtedly one of the biggest. Will his business savvy and legislative efficiency be enough to power him to Malacanang? Or will his unresolved corruption issues and aversion to debate be his undoing against his opponents?
Senator Villar, I guess the first question I would ask anyone running for president is why? I mean, you've had a long career in the private sector and the public sector. So why do you want to be president?
Alam mo, Ricky, marami na rin ako naranasan. Nakita ko na lahat ng hirap. Pero nakikita ko talaga yung kailangan na ng bahay natin eh. Dahil yung may hirap. Dahil itong mga nakakaramang mga tao, nakikita mo sila, nakakahalo mo sila. Eh talagang ang kailangan nila talaga yung diretsahan na makakapagbigay ng trabaho, makakapagbigay ng mga bahay, makakapagbigay sa kanila ng paraan para makapagpagamot, makapagpaaral. Talagang ito hinahanap na. Eh nakikita ko na somehow yung aking namang karanasan at yung aking liderato at ay maaaring magawa ko yan. Yan eh para matupad yung aking pangarap. Marami na rin akong pangarap na sila natupad eh. Pero ito na lang, kahuli-huli ang pangarap na hindi ko pa natutupad, yung maiahon ko sa kahirapan yung ating mga kababayan.
Pero sir, bilang isang tao, no? Kasi I suppose I'll give it to all of you candidates. You all feel na may magagawa kayo para sa bayan. And I'll grant that to everyone running. But beyond that, I mean, sa inyo, no? You've been a billionaire in business. You've been Speaker of the House. You've been Senate President. Parang kung tutuusin mo, marami ka na rin nagawa eh. So, you know, I mean, there's still something in you that wants to be president?
Alam mo, hindi pa natin talaga nagagamit yung liderato, yung kakayahan mamahala o managerial ability na basihan sa paghalal ng Pangulo. We have always used popularity as the sole basis for electing a president. Kaya, sa akin kasi pag hindi mo naman talaga naipakita ang liderato mo, hindi mo kayang pangunahan ng bansa. Pag hindi ka nakapagpakita ng kakayahan mo sa pamamahala ng isang bansa o na ekonomiya, hindi ko maintindihan kung paano mo mapapamahalaan ng maayos ang ating ekonomiya. So, sa akin mahalaga yun eh. Napakahalaga. Kailangan kasama yun sa pagpili ng isang Pangulo.
So, experience is a important factor.
Hindi lamang experience yan eh, kakayahan. Kasi hindi lamang karanasan niya, maaaring mahaba yung karanasan mo, pero hindi ka naman magaling. Kailangan din naman na ipakita mong magaling ka din. Kasi alam mo, ayoko naman magyabang kasi nahihiya rin ako dyan sa bagay na yan. Pero talagang kawawa yung ating mga kababayan kung puro papangako na lang natin, itong gagawin natin, itong gagawin natin. Ang question ko kasi, may nagawa ka na ba ng mga nakakaraang panahon na kaya mo sabihin yan? Pag sinabi mo, lilinisin mo ang gobyerno, may nagawa ka na ba na ganyan kahirap nung ikaw ay bata pa? Pag sinabi mo, gagawin mo ito o gagawin mo yan, kasi yung mga plataforma, madali sabihin yan eh. Papagawa mo lang sa speechwriter mo yung mga plataforma mo, sasabihin mo yan, may memorization mo yan, okay na. But I think you also have to tell the people what you have done to show that you can do these things. Kasi otherwise, manghuhula na naman sila. Napakatagal na naman tayo nanguhula itong mga nakakaraang panahon. Sa palagay ko naman, oras na para talagang this time, yung pumili naman tayo doon sa yun ang basihan.
Is that why you've been less available sa mga forum? Katulad nga ng sinabi mo, if you're talking about platform, you can have some guy in your staff write that. It doesn't really mean you'll do it. Is that part of your philosophy na parang that's also why you don't tend to appear in so many of these public fora?
Masasabi natin yun kasi alam mo, at sa bagay talaga naman ako nag-iikot talaga. Ito talaga ay, itong mga nakakaraang taon talagang lahat halos ng parte ng Pilipinas inikot ko. Doon ako talaga nagbabad sa mahirap kasi 92% ng ating mga kababayan na mahirap eh. At talagang kailangan na unawaan mo talaga yung kanilang problema para masabi mong kaya mong solusyonan yung mga problema na yon. Kaya hindi ako nakikita ko na yung mga forums na ganyan parang nakakasayang lang na oras. Kasi ako naman ay nandiyan naman tayo na kahit papano ay naging Speaker of the House at naging Pangulo ng Senado at nagtagumpay naman tayo sa larangan ng negosyo. Meron tayong karanasan sa pribadong sektor. Sa palagay ko naman yung mga karanasan ko na yan ay maliliwanag na. Kaya nga lang, siyempre, naintindihan ko rin na sa ngayon ay hinahanap ng tao na ipaliwanag ko ng detalyado kung ano eksakto ang gagawin ko din bukod sa pagsasalita ng aking mga nagawa. Kaya ngayon nandito ako sa iyo.
Well, then I should ask you, kapag nahalal kayo, what are the few things that you want to do or what are the things that you want to do in your presidency and how will you conduct the presidency kapag kayo ay nahalal?
Alam mo, ako'y nakikita ko na yung mga ibang kandidato, siyempre puro reforma, kagad reforma. Pero sa akin, talagang ako masasabi ko, kaya ko talaga i-reforma itong bayan na ito at marami na akong nagawa ng mga nakakaraang panahon na masasabi kong kaya kong gumawa ng malalaking desisyon, kaya kong gumawa ng malalaking reforma. Sa bureaucracy natin halimbawa, halos hindi na gumagalaw yung ating bansa. Kinakailangan mabigyan mo ito ng inspirasyon. Kinakailangan yung makagawa ka kagad sa unang taong mo lamang o unang 100 araw. Kailangan mabilis ang pag-upo mo. Kailangan marami na makita yung ating mga kababayan. Napakarami nating hahabulin eh. maraming kailangang ayusin sa Department of Health, sa ating